In today's weather video, we're going to be talking about the flash flooding threat along the mid-Atlantic and the severe weather threat that's going to be happening also in the mid-Atlantic, but also a little bit into the northern plains. And we can begin with our current warnings over here on the East Coast. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for basically a lot of the mid-Atlantic region in Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. We're going to be seeing some severe weather. We do have a couple of warnings right now that are headed towards the DC, Baltimore areas. We also do have some flash flooding that has been happening behind this with some flood watches, so we need to be cautious of that. We also do have flood watches down here in Texas and a little bit of New Mexico, and we are also concerned about the heat threat that has been happening kind of towards east of the Cascades into the Rocky Mountains. Today we do have a slight risk of severe weather on the mid-Atlantic over here, as well as over here in the northern tier of the plains. Nebraska and South Dakota, we could be seeing some severe weather, and then over here in the East Coast, specifically the mid-Atlantic, Virginia, a little bit of eastern West Virginia, most of Maryland and Delaware, New Jersey, and southwestern Pennsylvania, and a little bit of New York, we could be seeing some severe weather. And on the East Coast, we're going to be really worried about the damaging wind threat that's going to be moving through it tonight. Then over here in the northern tier of the plains, we do have a slight risk of hail that could be happening. We don't have a tornado risk at all. We do have a marginal risk of severe weather in two different large areas. Over here in the northern Rocky Mountains, you could be seeing some severe weather. It's over here towards the Great Lakes in the Midwest, you could be seeing some severe weather. Now, there is no slight risk, but there is a marginal risk, which means that there could be a chance of an upgrade to a slight risk chance, and I do certainly think that could very well happen. Three, we do have two areas of marginal risk again over here in the northern plains and as well as the northeast. We could be seeing some severe weather. Again, any of these could upgrade to slight risk, while we also are a little bit far away to know exactly what's going to be happening. And for flash flooding, we do have a 40% chance of flash flooding that can occur over here in the mid-Atlantic. So Philadelphia, Washington, Baltimore areas, we need to be aware of flash flooding. In fact, slight risk definitely impacts, about 25 million to maybe nearly 50 million people across the East Coast, and also over here too into Texas and New Mexico. We could be seeing some areas of slight risk in here as well. The flash flooding significantly decreases as our biggest risk is over here towards Virginia Beach in southeastern Virginia and northeastern North Carolina. However, we do have large 5% chance that could definitely be upgraded to a 15% chance as well. Then day 3, it's the same thing as over here towards the Tampa Bay area. We could be seeing a slight risk of excessive rainfall with, outer portions experiencing 5%. Really over here, any of these 5% chance could upgrade to a 15% chance. No benefit of the doubt. We could be seeing that. On the HRRR model, we do have those line of storms that are kind of moving through. Some storms we could be seeing some isolated damaging wind gusts, and those are going to be moving through West Virginia, Pennsylvania, moving onto east into Virginia and to Maryland. As we kind of move throughout the evening, we can see that those storms will be moving through New Jersey and Delaware into towards, Richmond, Virginia, and kind of will be moving right through past the DC and Baltimore metro areas. As we go in through the late evening into overnight hours, you can see that these storms will definitely weaken out. However, these still could be a little bit of these pop-up showers, in southern Virginia, North Carolina. They could still, be going through and causing some damaging wind gusts. And then kind of as we move out into the morning, those storms could start ramping up again, and we could be seeing the same type of severe weather. However, they are most likely going to be a little bit less intense. Over here in the plains, you can see that over kind of like right by into the evening hours, you can see that those storms will be kind of moving through. They are going to be kind of moving very slowly too, so we got to keep in mind at that. And then any of these pop-up cells could be producing some large hail with them. We don't have that hatch risk for 2+ inch size hail. However, as we kind of go through into tonight, some areas in Nebraska could be seeing some hail, and then as we kind of move through past overnight, we shouldn't be worrying about too much of really any severe weather threat until tomorrow. Now for temperature, throughout the next 6 to 10 days, most of the country is going to be above average for temperatures. I kind of see what this heat. Both coasts we're going to be experiencing, warmer than above temperatures. Unless you're in the plains or a little bit in the Midwest, you could be seeing near normal average temperatures. If you live down here in Texas, you might be, experiencing a tiny bit cooler than average temperatures. Into the second week, our heat will somewhat submerge from the East Coast, as a lot of us over here could be experiencing near normal average temperatures. The plains could be experiencing below than average temperatures, but we are going to be having a heat dome that's going to be just building across the West Coast for the next 2 weeks, which is going to be very unbearable for a lot of us. And then the next 3 to 4 weeks, so kind of about within the first and 2 of the month, most of us are going to be in the above average temperatures for the next month. For the next 6 to 10 days, most of us east of the Rockies and a little bit of the southeast could be experiencing more than average precipitation. West Coast over here, we could be experiencing near normal average precipitation, which is good. Or some of us over here in the deserts of Nevada and Utah could be seeing below than average precipitation. Next 8 to 14 days, again, it's going to kind of be the same. However, most of us are either going to be experiencing a little bit more than average precip or around your normal precip. And then within 3 to 4 weeks, you can see that a little bit down here in southern Texas, you could be experiencing below than average precipitation. Over here along the Appalachians and the Ozarks, the Ohio Valley, and to the northeast, you could be seeing a little bit of above average rainfall. Even over here into Arizona, New Mexico, around the Four Corners states, it could be seeing above average precipitation as well. Right now, across the United States for drought, we can see that most of the areas kind of west of the Mississippi have been experiencing, drier than average conditions, especially with that heat dome that's building up over here along the west coast. Over here on the east coast, we haven't been dealing with much, unless if you live in some parts of the Midwest, or if you live around Florida or a metro area over here, we might have been experiencing a little bit of drought. Now, since we are starting off in a new month, we can go over the monthly drought that we could be seeing. Now, over here, that a lot of us over here in the West Coast especially have been experiencing drought for a while now. And then over here, especially in the deserts, it still will remain most likely. Even a little bit over here in Nebraska, it'll remain. However, over here in these yellow areas, we have been having drought that has been developing, specifically a lot in the valleys. We do have a lot of drought that is developing, and then where you see this, I don't know, puke color green, you want to call it? That's what I'm going to call it. Some drought may be removed with some rain and precipitation. Before I end this video, I did forget to do this. So right now we are going to be talking about how a lot of the mid-Atlantic over here, we're going to be seeing some rain that could be up to a large swath of 1 to 3 inches over here in Virginia, Maryland, the Delmarva area, North Carolina. We could be seeing a lot of rain over here. A little bit in the Mississippi, down here in the Dixie Alley, we could be seeing some areas up to 2 inches, may pick up that amount. And then over here in Texas and New Mexico, some areas could see up to swaths of 1 to 3 inches as well. Alright, and that's going to be it for today's weather video. So if you guys like to see a new one, make sure you guys like and subscribe and share it with other people. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.